and just feeling kind of invisible, this piece of music was the thing that made me feel like, yeah, I got this. So I think I Am Moving was, you know.
It was if y'all were performing your original, each of you performing your original works. And I guess a follow-up question is kind of how they all came together, like if you're pulling from works that you did a long time ago, and how you just found these pieces to be the pieces that came together so beautifully on stage.
So what's crazy is that you would think that we like get together and like, okay, we're gonna have a writing session and this is the topic and this is what we're gonna perform something about. Like none of us actually wrote together. So when Unique flew in a couple of days ago, I got here last night and we're rehearsing. I'm like, well, we rehearsed like over the phone and stuff before we got here. But it hit me when we were like all here in person. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. I talk about Sarah Bartman. You talk about Sarah Bartman. You know, we're talking about identity and all those things. And though the overall, you know, theme is Black bodies, we didn't know what each piece was going to be about. So it's like, we were just like all on the same wavelength in a sense.
It felt so like a story.
And that's one, you know, just piggybacking off of Chappelle. It's like, even this morning, like, we haven't seen each other in, man, a minute. It's been, like 2 years? Yeah. And just for us to be in the same room together, like this morning waking up, like, yo, we together, like, what's up? It was crazy because we literally sat there for like 3 hours and literally like every time we get together we say, oh word, we having church. And that's what it is. Like the work for us is church, just the conversations, the sisterhood, like it's literally church and just survival for us. So yeah, it works.
We'll take one more question.
I have one more.
Oh, yes, Ms. Trey.
The last statement that you made was that we are our mothers, our grandmothers, and great-grandmothers. If that is true, I got a poem this morning that someone sent to me, and it was a male poet who was basically disrespecting young women at this time period for how they exhibit self-hatred and how they have practices that he didn't like. And the person wanted to know if I liked the poem. And I immediately thought that every woman, whether she's old or young, is basically practicing what she learned.
Yeah.
We only do what we learn. And so how do we take what we know and help unlearn some practices that are not healthy, that diminish our humanity? How do we do that?
I can take that. So that first poem that I did is called 7 Generations Forward, 7 Generations Back. And that poem actually replaced the poem that I did 3 years ago. And I felt that this poem was particularly timely because it wasn't just about Black bodies that had been killed by the hands of the police or the state. It was also about bodies that have died from the back alleyway of the state by way of systematic oppression and coping mechanisms as well, right? So it's a dual mechanism. I come from a family that has a history of alcoholism and addiction. And I don't fault that family. They were doing the best that they could in the time that they lived in. However, I will not excuse the violence that was ensued on each other and on self. And it is up to me and my generation, I've come to find, spiritually understanding, that it stops here. I have to break that cycle if I expect the generations coming up to not do what was done to us. Unbeknownst, subconsciously and subconsciously. I know People in that generation, y'all did the best you could. So thank you. We're here, we alive, we breathing, we got all our teeth, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it's about. I'm very thankful for that. You raised us in a time where I can't fucking imagine living in the times that you lived in. I couldn't imagine that. So you took that for us to be here. So thank you. At the same time, there's some stuff that got to go. You know what I'm saying? Just straight out, flat out, I look at some of the mannerisms of my mother, of my grandmother, and I'm like, I love y'all, but there's some stuff that we can't talk about, and I don't really understand why or why, how. It's so easy for me to figure out, but for them it's like, nah, we're not touching that. It's denial, it's repression, it's projection. It's a lot of displacement, it's a lot of anger, a lot of sadness, like all of that, the anxiety, that shit, that really eats at me. And trying to talk about that is like talking to a brick wall. So I understand why, but at the same time, I know in my generation that it's up to us to break through that wall. Because y'all had a lot of other shit going on. You know what I'm saying? But it's our time to do that so that whoever we give birth to, whatever we arrange, won't have to, deal with, as Chantel was talking about, this love but not love. You know what I mean? This me being told I'm weak for not standing up for myself. These messages that we don't understand how damaging they are. Because we're so young and we don't really have a language to understand what's happening, you know what I'm saying? So we grow up and we cope the best way we could. I became an alcoholic. I was, out there doing what I had to do because it was what I saw. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get that out of my system, that poison, in order to now be better for what's coming. You see what I'm saying? So in that sense, I'm taking the resilience of y'all, but I'm also leaving behind what's no longer working.
I like to answer the question too. Of course. So I think one of the things is teaching. And we're all teachers. I have a youth pastor he's not my youth pastor anymore. He hasn't been for probably 30 years, maybe 20, I don't know, whatever. But he always told me that you might be the only Bible somebody sees, right? So meaning that, whatever message that you are, that you want to present, you have to present it, right? So we are all teachers in some way. So I think when you're this young man or whoever this person sent you this poem and asked you what your thoughts are, and then you're thinking, this shit is fucking horrible, and what do I say to him about this? I think we have to create more pathways for ourselves and honor the pathways that we're creating at EASTSIDE Artists Alliance, like Birthplace Poets. We have to support each other, like Corey, having her painting, healing workshops coming up, that kind of thing, supporting Sheila and, her Reiki and the massage and being able to, get that out therapeutically. We have to be able to teach each other ways of survival. So the same thing that Unique is saying, take these new things that we're learning and saying that we don't want to maybe be on the same vibration of those things that got us here. We can learn from the past, right, and we can move on, into the future with some new thoughts, and we have to recode. Basically, that's what we have to do. I'm not here for the radio. If that makes sense. One of my main agendas, I think, that is happening right now is how do we get more local artists on the radio? Because I truly believe that the separation of the Black and brown story from the radio is a huge issue. And they try to make this a monopoly of our culture, right? But we all have different perspectives from the South, the East Coast. We can sit down and have conversations just with press play from the South, the East, Midwest, from the Bay. We all come from different places. Somebody eats hog maw, somebody don't, somebody eat this, whatever. We have different perspectives. Our grandmothers taught us differently. And those stories are being generalized. Black people only do this. Black girls should do this, right?
So I think it's really important for us to challenge education. And if you have students that are in school on any level, then you have to show up. You have to get off your ass. You have to show up. You have to show up to the classroom, see what they're teaching, and then you have to get in the asses of your students too. Right? And be supportive of them and help them and challenge them to think more, to ask more. Right? So create more programming, even if it's with the hair. There are messages we have in everything. So we have to recode and take those things that are not working for us and not benefiting us, and as the scraps that the masters used to leave us, these are the new scraps, and create something different out of it to make it work, right? So it's almost like, I don't know, somebody said it in one of the poems tonight, or at least I interpreted it, that they will give us something that we created. Was it you, Bobby? Something like that, and like, they give us something that we created and then feed it back to us. It might have been but something like that, and then try to market it to us. Totally wrong person. But you understand what I'm saying? So I think we have to create. We are creators. So it's really important for us to create platforms and not wait. So we can't continue to think that somebody else is going to cast the vote for us or make the vote for us, whatever, to get by.